Okay, we're going to remove this glass on this broken sliding window. These pieces are called insulated units with the double pane. You get the two pieces of glass glued together with this piece of aluminum channel. So I'm going to pull this out and show how to replace these. Okay, so here's my broken window. You can sort of see the crack on it. And there's the new insulated unit I just picked up from the glass place. So you've got two sides on these. One side has this vinyl weather stripping. I've already started popping this one out. It just snaps in here. And the other side has the adhesive. So get something small and start prying this out. Sorry, I'm holding the camera and filming at the same time, or working. I'm just tilting it a little bit. You can see the whole piece is coming out. I'm just using a really dull razor blade. It fits in there, it's really skinny. We'll set that aside. Okay, I've removed all of the weather stripping. This is the broken side. So I'm just going to gently flip it over. You don't have to do this on carpet. But it's a nice work surface. So this side has the adhesive in it. It's a foam double-sided tape. Here's the replacement stuff. It's so you just want to cut that out. You got a little bit of, since it's so thick, you got a little bit of room. So I like to take my razor blade and slide it out one notch. You've got the two notches in there, so it's a little bit longer. And you just stick it in the corner and push all the way down. And this is a brand new blade, so it's plenty sharp. I'll just make another cut just to be sure. And we'll just do that all the way around. And with a new blade, it cuts very easily. Okay, all my adhesive is cut. I'm just going to lift the frame off gently. Now the glass is actually quite a bit of the strength for this frame. These frames are just vinyl. They're not very strong. So I'm going to just kind of gently pull it off. And this is a pretty big window, but it's about this. It's the same for anything. Any size. So obviously this is the bad unit. We're going to throw it away. But this adhesive needs to be removed in here before the new stuff's put on. So same thing, you just grab your razor knife and scrape it off. And sometimes it works better to use the dull end. You'll have to just try and see. And if you end up with just a little bit of glue, that's not a big deal, but you want to make sure it's flat. You don't want any bunches of foam like this bunched up, because then your next piece won't lay flat, and then your window won't lay flat when it gets stuck on, and you'll have a little gap for air to get in around the window. air or moisture. Okay, I'm gonna go ahead and clean this off. You can see I'm using the back end, the back side of the blade, and I kind of use the tip of it a little bit because it's a little bit more aggressive. So this is doing a good job scraping it off. And then after, I'll go over it and make sure I don't have any fuzzies left on it from the foam. Okay, I've got this adhesive strip pretty well removed. You can see there's a little bit of residue. That's okay, as long as none of it's sticking up too much. I did have a little bit of dirt down here. I've got it cleaned out. One thing you'll notice is it's pretty common to have a couple of these little vinyl shims at the bottom. These are because you want to try and keep the insulated unit centered as much as you can in the opening, and so these shims will generally be found on the bottom. I also have these two little strips here. These are softer, kind of a rubbery thing. Those are just got one on one side and one on the top, just to kind of avoid the glass from bumping. So when you put this strip on, it's just basically a piece of tape, and you can get this from the glass place when you pick up your insulated unit. Just tell them you'd like a roll of tape, and if that doesn't work, or if you're repairing something and for whatever reason you're not getting it from a glass place, you can generally find this at Lowe's or Home Depot. A lot of times you can actually, with some of these tapes, you can actually bend these corners, but this tape feels a little too rigid, so I'm just going to go ahead and cut it. Start the next one. Okay, I've got the adhesive strip on. Now this blue stuff obviously needs to come off. I like to kind of peel up the corners with my knife. It's just a backing, keep the stuff from sticking to itself. I'll go ahead and pull that off really quick. Okay, if I had someone here to hold the camera, I'd be able to show this a little bit better. But what I'm going to do is take this unit and stick it in here and center it between this side and this side. There is a little bit of play. The unit is not the exact same size as this opening. And I'm going to hold it against these shims as I gently set it down. And as I set it down, I'm going to make sure that up here also is centered so that my frame isn't skewed at all. Okay, now that I've got the glass in, you just kind of want to squeeze along the frame and make sure that you've got it all pressed on tightly instead of pushing on the glass for obvious reasons. We want to just kind of go around and squeeze it and make sure that we've got a good seal. Okay, now it's time to put these pieces of weather stripping back on. You'll notice a lot of times they cut some of these corners square and some of the corners at an angle. Most of these have one of each. What you want to try to do, which isn't always possible, is put the square side in first, and you can generally just pull it in with your fingers. And then I'll lay this angled edge over the square one, see? Let's line it up here. Sometimes it's a little tough to start popping it in over here. You can start in the middle and then work your way back to the corner. I apologize, I've got the sniffles today. But I was replacing this and thought it would be a good opportunity to make this video. And once you put these pieces all in, then you're done. Put your window back in the frame and you've got a good sealed window. Thanks for watching.